Hawks by 3, that time remaining in the first. This is Alonzo Mourning with the ball. He's going to pass to Kevin Willis. Rex Chapman's going to set a back pick for Kevin Gamble, who slices to the basket and gets a beautiful pass from Willis. Watch it. There's the back pick. There's the cut. There's the bouncer. And Gamble with the finish. Excellent execution by the Heat. Back to live action.
We anticipated a tight, hard-fought game. That's what we have through the first quarter. A minute 45 left in this period. Hawks by 3. And Steve Smith, a man at work. He has 7 points here in the opening quarter. He's hit 3 of 4 shots and has also come up with 3 rebounds. So the Hawks dominating the board, and they have their largest lead of the period to show for it. Kurt Thomas in for the first time tonight, and for the second time tonight, the Heat turn it over. And Bimbo Coles committing his first foul of the game.
2 turnovers are not bad playing against the Atlanta Hawks, but getting out rebounded by 5 at this part of the game doesn't augur well.
Steve Smith, the jumper for 2 more.
Steve Smith looks suspiciously like he's in his zone, He's shooting the ball with great rotation tonight.
Coming off a big game with 30 and has 9 in the first quarter. Kevin Gamble just cannot drop in a jumper. He's missed 4 of 5. And the ball will stay with Miami. Last touch by Andrew Lang. So with under a minute to go in the quarter, the Hawks have opened up a 7-point lead.
The Heat have had good shooting opportunities from the edges, have not been able to knock them down with any regularity.
Rex with a quick pull of the trigger, and a rebound to Andrew Lang. Miami's shooting plummeting down to 39%. The Hawks have dominated over the last 5+ minutes. Smith driving on Gamble. And out it comes. Elo threw it away, but we get a whistle from Lee Jones. And a 3-second call on the Hawks.
The Heat would rather have had the fast break opportunity, but a call is a call. That's the way Lee saw it.
Steve Smith, who has 9 points in the quarter, had 18 in game 1 this year against the Heat, but just 10 at the Omni the last time these clubs met. He was shooting just 34% the 2 games against his old club. Mourning's corner jumper pulled down by Alan Henderson, the rookie from Indiana. Both Henderson and Kurt Thomas will take part in the Schick rookie game this weekend, All-Star Weekend in San Antonio. Steve Smith caught underneath with 5 seconds to go and fouled. So Steve Smith will shoot a couple of free throws, the foul against Kurt Thomas. Smith still has his home here in Miami, up in North Miami Beach. On the personal side, Steve plans to wed this summer his fiancée, the niece of Joe Dumars, and they will marry in Louisiana.
Steve really has a game going tonight, Eric. He's capable of monsters.
Whoa, that would have counted, but Bimbo Coles triple at the horn, spun out. First quarter belonged to Steve Smith, 11 points, and the Atlanta Hawks, who lead Miami 28-19.
Hawks by 9 at the end of 1. Let's watch Steve Smith, who had 11 in the period. He's going for more. High post pick. Smith gets to the hoop. No.
And the first annual Marlins Fan Fest, sponsored by Sunshine Network, this weekend at Joe Robbie Stadium. You can take a tour of the clubhouse and receive autographs from your favorite Marlins players, all taking place at Marlins Fan Fest. Coming to JRS this weekend. Call 626-7400 for more information. And the Hawks controlling the backboard in the first quarter, 15-8. They shoot 52%. Miami just 36% on 9 for 25.
The Heat have yet to get to the free throw line there.
Craig Elo, good man off the Hawk bench. Kevin Gamble with a rebound. Billy Owens back in. He did not score. Picked up 2 quick fouls in the first 3 minutes. This is Mourning working deliberately. Lang over his body for the block, but the foul. first on the Arkansas man, Andrew Lang.
When Zoe starts to put it on the floor, then the defenders come. That looked like a pretty good block by Andrew Lang. No argument, though, so he must have hit him somewhere. Andrew Lang has made giant strides in his game from last year to this. He was traded to Philadelphia as part of the Barkley deal.
Yes.
And
played just 1 year there.
Did nothing in Philadelphia. He wasn't happy there. The team didn't like him. But if they could see him now, and I'm sure they have, they'd love him.
Andrew Lang, a career average of 6 points a game, and this year his 8th season at 13 points a night. Hawks leading by 8. Smith on a nice dish for Alan Henderson, and we get a whistle and foul on Miami. Spud Webb getting set to come in for the first time tonight. He does for Mookie Blaylock. Kevin Gamble picking up that foul. His first, and the Heat's first in the second quarter. So Mookie gets a seat with 5 points in the first quarter, and the 11-year vet Spud Webb coming on. Spud in his second tour of duty with the Hawks, acquired in June from Sacramento for Tyrone Corbin.
Yeah, Spud doing an excellent job for this team. He's not playing big minutes, Eric. Playing about 16 a game. Distributes the ball well. Is not in a hurry to shoot it. Playing more of a point guard than he's ever done in his career in the NBA.
Alan Henderson hitting those two gives Atlanta their largest lead of the first half. The Hawks up by 10. Just a minute into the second quarter. Miami started well enough. They got out to an 8-2 lead, but they have bogged down. Bimbo to the lane. Bimbo for the scooper.
Bimbo shoots that 6-foot shot especially well on the drive. Has great control. Loops it over the arms and hands of the big defenders nicely.
Coles has 5. The Heat are down by 8, and Kevin Gamble called for another hold. Gamble struggling guarding Steve Smith, and this is where the Heat really miss Keith Askins, who misses just his second game of the year, but it's his second game in a row with that tendonitis to his foot. Perfect spot for him to defend a player like Smith.
Well, a couple of guys, Smith or Augman, would be perfect for Keith Askins.
Morning grabbing his first rebound. The Heat are down by 8. Owens creates a shot and then tips in the miss.
Steve Smith was there and got right out of the way as Billy Owens charged to the hoop. First hoop for Owens.
Miami now within 6 points. And on Alan Henderson's drive, Kurt Thomas called for his second foul. Alan Henderson, a man the Hawks picked with the 16th selection in round 1, and he has progressed well during his rookie year. A coach like Lenny Wilkins, a teacher, has really helped the progression of a young man like Henderson.
Well, he's given Henderson minutes. He's shown a lot of confidence in Henderson, who hasn't really shown a big game in any direction, but he's giving him time.
Thomas fends off Henderson for the rebound on Elo's miss. Morning from Coles. And he'll go to the foul line for 2 more. Alan Henderson in help defense commits the foul. Nice punch-in pass by Bimbo.
That was excellent. Bimbo pushed the ball up the left side of the floor, and as soon as Zoe got possession, look at the bounce pass entry as Zoe takes it quickly to the basket and draws the foul.
Won't be any rest for Alonzo Mourning over All-Star Weekend. He's heading to San Antonio to take part in his 3rd All-Star game. This is just his 4th season out of Georgetown. The Heat acquiring a rising All-Star player just entering the prime of his career.
He certainly deserved it, Eric. He's done a terrific job here for the Miami Heat, getting more offensive opportunities than he ever got at Charlotte.
Alonzo Mourning has been the offense tonight. He has 10 of Miami's 25 points. The Heat are down 5. They've scored 5 unanswered points. And illegal defense against Miami for the first time tonight. They're 1 warning, a side out of bounds for Atlanta. Pat Riley would love to pack in a 2nd consecutive win prior to the All-Star break. 6 days off for the Heat after tonight, and then they'll be back at it here on the home court against Toronto next Tuesday night. Andrew Lang going to work. left-handed hook, and he draws a foul. So Mourning hit with his first foul of the night, and that's team foul number 4 against Miami. Alonzo Mourning saying that Lang wheeled in the hem.
I would not disagree. Watch Lang as Zoe, little bump by Zoe there, but no contact whatsoever on the shot. And that's when the whistle was blown. None. There was space between the two players.
Jack, this guy, Andrew Lang, out of Arkansas, what I call a quiet worker. Working on his 4th consecutive season of perfect attendance. He doesn't miss, I don't know if he missed school, but he hasn't missed a game in the last 4 years.
He's a very good free throw shooter, Eric. He does everything well. He doesn't overwhelm you in any one department, but he does everything well. He's been a big asset to this team.
That's the first missed foul shot for the Hawks in 7 attempts. Andrew Lang with 9 points for Atlanta. They're leading by 6. Token pressure in the backcourt. Gamble versus Elo. A couple of veterans. 5 to shoot. Nice entry pass by Thomas, setting up Billy Owens for the layup.
On the Heat bulletin board, entry to the posts from the top of the circle, and you saw why that time.
Alan Henderson on the turn called for too many steps. So Miami gets it back, down by 4.
Watch this pass. You see Billy Owens with good position as the Hawks try to front it. When you're being fronted at the post, you must get the ball to the top of the circle, and then you have a layup.
He read the defense effectively last trip. That was nice offense. 8:40 left in this first half. Owens turns baseline for 2.
That's what I talked about, the keys to the game. Score at the post against smaller defenders. Billy Owens with a big size advantage on Craig Elo.
He used the drop step to perfection. Owens with all 6 of his points here in the second quarter. 3 for 4 shooting. Miami within 2. Augman missing.
Oh, my.
Actually tipped in by Alonzo Mourning.
Yes, Alonzo wasn't in position to rebound the ball, swiped at it, and knocked it in.
So Stacey Augman gets credit for the goal. He has 6 points. The Hawks lead by 4.
Hawks now trapping.
Thomas from 17 feet out. Owens with the offensive rebound. And it's picked off by Andrew Lang. That ball intended for Kurt Thomas.
Thomas was open, but Lang was between the passer and receiver.
Elo left alone. Book it. The 13-year vet out of Washington State drops in his first points tonight.
There's another guy who's had a great career. Very hard worker, makes open shots, and a very pesky defender on bigger guys.
Thomas drives baseline and converts.
Nice finish by Kurt Thomas. He had Billy Owens open, but didn't get the ball to him.
Kurt Thomas' first bucket tonight. Moves Miami within 4. Rex Chapman and Kevin Willis at the table. They'll check in next chance. 5 minutes into the second quarter. 35-31 Atlanta. Augman lost it. Winds up with Alan Henderson, and Kurt Thomas gobbled it up. They'll jump it up. Nice defense by Kurt Thomas and Alonzo Mourning. So Coles and Mourning are out. Willis and Chapman are in.
Take a look at the play. As Henderson starts up with it, Kurt Thomas is right there. I don't know if you give him a block on that. That was more of a tie-up of a player trying to get the ball above his waist.
Kurt Thomas looked like he was in the rodeo there. And being a native of Texas, he may have experience tying up some cattle.
If he has, Eric, I'd like to hear about it. That's tough business.
So Thomas and Alan Henderson, they'll be teammates this weekend in the fifth rookie game. Thomas winning the tap. And even 7 minutes left in the second period. He trailed by 9 after 1 quarter. They've been down by as much as 10 tonight. Owens draws double team defense. Campbell left alone. Gotta have it.
You must have it is right, Eric. Good assessment of the defense by Billy Owens, who found the open man. Kevin Gamble knocks it down from top of the circle.
And Jack, that's what's been puzzling about Kevin Gamble's season-long slump. He's had quality shots. Grant Long bottled up by Willis, and Kevin Willis committing his first foul tonight. And we get a timeout to the Heat. We've got a tight one brewing in Miami. The Hawks, the visitors, up by 2.
Heat ball number 42, Kevin Willis. His first penalty time.
Change. The only thing you can count on in life that's permanent is change. And when change raises its beautiful face, you embrace it. Hard work will not guarantee you anything, but without it, you do not stand a chance.
Ramsey, Lamont, and the Sunshine Gang welcome you back to Miami Arena, where the Heat are 2 behind the Hawks with 6:26 left in the first half. And our presentation of Miami Heat Hoops on Sunshine is brought to you in part by Roadhouse Grills, an old-fashioned steakhouse and Good Time Saloon in South Florida. Good food and a smile. That's Roadhouse style. Steve Smith leading the Hawks with 11. Alonzo Mourning's 10 points, pacing the Heat. It's been a very even first half, Jack.
Well, the Heat got in a little bit of a hole, trailing by 9. But they've cut back into this game, Eric. A little help with some missed free throws here by Grant Long. They'll have a chance to tie this or maybe go ahead.
Grant Long gets his first point of the night, and it puts Atlanta in front by 3.
Hawks have a variety of defenses. They love to zone trap you.
Rex Chapman handling the points. Spud Webb giving him some problems. Webb at 5'7". And that's an offensive foul on Billy Owens. Jess Kersey called it, and Pat Riley is unhappy about it. Third foul on Owens.
Craig Elo did the play acting, and I think Jesse Kersey fell for it.
The short-handed Heat cannot afford foul trouble to Billy Owens tonight. Yes, Kersey and Pat Riley having words. Elo bottoms down the triple. 5 points now for Elo. That's his 40th three-pointer this year. And the Hawks' lead is now 6 points.
Elo is such a tough guy.
Billy Owens gets
that's
there.
A nice drive.
8 points all here in the second quarter for Billy O.
Billy Owens drove the left baseline and skimmed it in off the glass.
Webb comes all the way through. This is Henderson hitting the shot and drawing the foul. So the Hawks piercing Miami's defense on that trip. Kurt Thomas picking up his third foul.
Let's take a quick look at the play where Billy Owens got called for the foul. There's a lot of contact between the two players. Watch Elo. That's sure play acting.
And that has disrupted the night for Billy Owens. He picked up 2 fouls in the game's first 3 minutes. Had to sit out. Comes back, gets 8 quick points in the second quarter, picks up his third, and is back on Miami's bench. The Hawks lead it by 7. 5.5 minutes left, second quarter. This is Bimbo in the lane, and he will go to the line. The foul is on Spud Webb. First against Webb, third against the Hawks. Well, Atlanta started the year with a good month in November. They went 9-5, struggled in December, went 4-10, and then got it together with an 11-4 month of January.
They were 14-17, Eric, before they went on that 10-game streak.
Alan Henderson with a block on Coles. Webb for Ogman. That's terrific transition offense for the Hawks. How quickly they changed ends.
Yeah, well, you've got 2 speedsters, Spud Webb and Stacey Ogman, and that ball got out quickly. There's the drive, the block, and watch how quickly they're up the floor. This is Spud. Now watch this pass by Spud. That's how he's improved his game. When he first came in the league, he was all run, jump, dunk, and shoot. Now, you don't see him dunk very often, although he still can. He's become more of a playmaker, doing a nice job of it.
And Pat Riley's had to maneuver his talent in and out most of the night with foul trouble. Now Thomas sits with 3, and Alonzo Mourning is back. The Augman team with Larry Johnson and Greg Anthony at UNLV. They won a national championship together in 1990. But Augman missed both. 5 minutes to go in the half. It's still a 7-point Atlanta advantage. Triple team on Mourning. 7 to shoot.
Good ball movement.
Rex, an open 3. Got it.
That's terrific. That's great ball movement from all 5 players. Everybody touched the ball on that one.
And they took it right down to the end of the 24-second clock. The first triple of the night for Chapman. Augman feeding Henderson, another bucket inside, and another Miami foul.
The Hawks are getting deep penetration to their post guys who swing it toward the hoop, putting it on the floor, and then getting it. Here's that ball movement we talked about with the Heat, and Rex Chapman all by himself. No one near him. Gave Rex the opportunity to bury that 3.
And Alan Henderson completes his 3-point play. He has 8 points here in the first half.
Hawks getting a lot of penetration to the basket, drawing big people, and then laying it off for high percentage shots and frequently personal fouls to go with them.
Mookie Blaylock back in for Spud Webb. Look out, Blaylock with the steal. And Steve Smith also checking back in for Elo. So the starting guards are back.
We'd like to get Bimbo down low. Just back him down and shoot over him if he can.
Mourning comes to help. Long open for a triple. Long rebound taken by Bimbo Coles. His 4th rebound of the half. Rex for Willis. And the rebound to Steve Smith.
The Heat got within 2. Now the Hawks back in control, working it slowly.
Hawks by 7. 3:35 left in the second quarter. Blaylock in the corner, starts his drive. Alan Henderson causing a lot of problems. Blaylock from the baseline. And the Heat catch a break with 3:25 left in the half. Miami gets it back, trailing by 7. A typical night for Mookie Blaylock, struggling with his perimeter shot. He's taken 9, he's missed 7.
But don't give up on him, Eric. He won't give up on himself. He'll still steal a couple of balls and he'll get his assists.
Yeah, we've learned the hard way. Watching Mookie Blaylock pierce the Heat's heart late in games. Rex Chapman. Jackie's moving well without the ball, getting in position to make open jumpers.
He's getting some great screens on the baseline from his big guys. Coming off with just enough time to square it up and shoot it.
7 for Rex. 5-point lead for the Hawks with 3 minutes left in the half.
Now he has to defend this guy who's on fire.
Steve Smith, we know the moves well, watching him play his first 3 years in the league with Miami. And a 3-second violation on the Hawks. That gives it back to the Heat, down by 5, but first a timeout from the winningest coach in NBA history, Lenny Wilkens, just 7 wins shy of 1,000. Where'd he go to college? Back at Miami Arena, 2:49 to go. Second quarter, the Hawks, who have led by as much as 10, lead it by 5, but Miami's ball. And we welcome you back, Reed, Ramsey, and the Sunshine Gang. Al Del Greco of the National Football League. Happy Hairston, the former star at NYU, and later for the Los Angeles Lakers. They're both here for the golf tournament, sponsored by Dan Marino. Dave Lamont will chat with them both. There's Happy Hairston, a former Los Angeles Laker. Nice to see Happy here in our house.
Happy, a little pensive at this point, but doesn't look much different, Eric. This guy was a terrific rebounder. Not big, played big forward on that Laker team that won 33 in a row. Same team on which Pat Riley played.
And back to it we go. Bimbo Coles, Kevin Gamble, Rex Chapman, Kevin Willis, and Alonzo Mourning on the court for Miami. Mourning leading the Heat with 10, Owens with 8. Steve Smith pacing Atlanta with 11. Mourning, book it.
Nice. When Rex puts it inside, and Zoe turns and faces up. They've got to honor Rex for his perimeter shot and give Zoe a chance to get his man one-on-one.
Zoe has a dozen. He's the 5th leading scorer in the league this year, averaging nearly 25 a night. Miami down by only 3. Blaylock turns the corner, knocked away, and a foul with 2 seconds left on the 24-second clock. Kevin Gamble, one he'd like to take back, his 3rd personal foul.
Yeah, Mookie not in good shooting position, just trying to get what he got, a chance at the free throw line because he didn't have a good shot. Watch him turning the corner, looking. He knows the shot clock's winding down, and Gamble with the reach-in foul.
That's actually foul number 4 on Kevin Gamble, and that will bring Vashawn Leonard off Miami's bench. Vashawn, like Steve Smith, a native of Detroit, Michigan, Southwest High School, where he teamed with Jalen Rose. Vashawn Leonard sitting down Kevin Gamble. Leonard, after back-to-back 15-point games against Phoenix and Philadelphia, coming off consecutive scoreless outings, he has missed his last 6 shots. Meanwhile, Craig Elo is on for the Hawks, and Blaylock misses both.
Talking with Vashawn before the game, he said, I lifted too many weights before the game, too much weight time. That's not the time to lift weights. Lift them in the morning, but not before the game.
He was 0 for 4 in 7 minutes the other night. As Blaylock, boy, he really bought that shot fake. If he was a fish, he'd be on the dock by now. So Blaylock gets his 2nd foul. That's the 4th on Atlanta and the 1st in the last 2 minutes of the half against the Hawks. So Miami will inbound it, trailing by 3.
Vashawn needs to knock down one of these open shots, which he's due to get, Eric. With the post guys getting double teamed and Leonard in a little bit of a slump, the Hawks will give him a shot to make sure that he's going to make it before they double.
Warning working against Lang. He is doubled. Coles unloads. And another triple for Bimbo. How about his long distance shooting? He's got 8 points tonight. He's buried 2 from behind the arc.
We've got a tie game.
So Miami battles back from 10 down to knot it at 45. Good first half. Happy to have you along for the ride. Just another thrilling night here in the NBA. Time to shoot. Lang will. Got the bucket, but it won't count. Lee Jones rubbing it off. Now let's make sure Mookie Blaylock politicking for that bucket. And Lang hoping for the best.
I don't know what they're going to call here. You've got 2 big guys jockeying for position. Zoe holding his ground.
Well, it was illegal defense against Miami. Okay. No basket and a technical free throw to be shot by the Hawks, then their ball.
Okay.
That explains it.
At least a foul was not called. Foul calls have been kind of erratic in this game. I didn't see the illegal defense. I don't think Coach Rowley or assistant Scotty Robertson saw it either. Now Jess Kersey is explaining to Pat what the offense was.
Hawks have outscored the Heat at the foul line here in the first half, 10-2.
Let's take a look. Yes, there's the violator. It's Kirk Thomas. Excuse me, Leonard the violator.
It's left in the half. Smith on the fade. And the rebound covered up by Mourning with a Heat trailing by 1 and a minute to go in the second quarter. So on the go. Oh yeah! And a foul.
Alonzo Mourning, his defender Andrew Lang was pressuring in the backcourt. When Zoe got the ball in the front court, he couldn't believe his eyes. Watch him. Look, nobody's in front of me. Take it home, Zoe. Zoe looking. Can't imagine where everybody is. Throws that one down with authority.
And it sticks. 15 first half points for Alonzo Mourning, and a turnover on Mookie Blaylock. Dribbled it out of bounds. Good defense in the backcourt from Bimbo Coles. So not only do the Heat have the lead by 2, they get the ball right back.
Yeah, good defense. You're right, Eric. Bimbo harassing the Hawks into a turnover himself.
Bimbo telling Mookie 2 can play that game. Mookie Blaylock, one of the feistiest defensive guards in the NBA. Matter of fact, 2 years in a row, first team all defense. Last year finished second to Scottie Pippen in steals, and this year just 3 behind league leader Gary Payton. Morning working against Lang. Bimbo to the lane. And Grant Long in traffic emerges with a rebound. Hawks down by 2.
Hawks are going to hold for 1, but the Heat will have a shot coming back.
Elo cross court for Long. This is Steve Smith off the spin. Rebound to Kevin Willis, his 7th of the first half. Rex on a dead run. Yes!
Oh, that's a good finish by Chapman.
Oh, he hung in the air over Elo and banked it home to put the Heat up by 4.
Chapman's hurt, Eric.
He gets up and hobbles into the front court, and Mookie Blaylock dribbled it out of bounds with just under 3 seconds left. Rex Chapman has 9 points, 7 coming here in the second quarter, and he is hobbling. And Miami will use its 22nd timeout as Ron Culp will tend to Rex Chapman with Sasha Danilovic already on the injured list. This is a spot the Heat cannot afford an injury to. Well, there have been rumors floating around from South Florida regarding the Heat's interest in longtime Washington Bullet and member of the Utah Jazz, Jeff Malone, who is in town.
Let's see what happens first with Rex Chapman as he takes that one to the hoop. Landed hard on his left ankle. Let's see if we can get a better look at this time. He may have landed on Elo's shoe and rolled his ankle. It's his left ankle.
His left ankle.
But he's jogging up and down in place, kind of gingerly. Ron Culp will take him inside and give him some quick attention.
Hope is that Rex can come back for the second half and rest up over the All-Star break. Mourning gets control of it. Oh, rolled off at the horn. And Alonzo Mourning cries to the heavens he wanted that last deuce.
Well executed play by the Heat. Just didn't go down, but they're up in front, Eric. 50-46.
A 31-point quarter for Miami, a 15-point first half for Alonzo, and a 15-4 run to end the half for the Heat. The Atlanta Hawks are 6th in the Eastern Conference, just a half game behind number 5 Cleveland. They're 2.5 up on Detroit and Washington. Miami 10th in the East. Remember, only the top 8 teams make the playoffs. The Heat are a game behind number 9 Charlotte, and they trail Washington and Detroit both in 7th place by 2.5. So every game meaningful for Pat Riley's gang as we play the back 9 in this NBA regular season. The second half of the year, the All-Star break heading our way after tonight.
Personal fouls could be significant in this one, Eric. No one for the Hawks has 3, but Billy Owens and Kurt Thomas both have 3, and Kevin Gamble has 4 as we start the second half.
And the original starting groups back for each side. Steve Smith and Mookie Blaylock for Atlanta in the backcourt. Grant Long, Stacey Augmon, and Andrew Lang up front. For the Heat, it's Bimbo Coles, Rex Chapman, Kevin Willis, Alonzo Mourning, and Billy Owens. Help the Heat if Owens can stay out of foul trouble. He's been effective when he's been in there.
Oh, he has 8 points in 9 minutes.
Smith for 3.
My.
Steve Smith now with 14 points. His first triple tonight, his 75th made 3 of the year. He
hasn't shot what I would call an open one yet. Everything has been with the defender in his face as the Hawks try a little trapping defense.
A 1-point Heat lead. Mourning the vast array of offense. That perimeter jumper has been a new and improved weapon for Alonzo. 17 for him.
And it works for him, Eric, because they don't double team him when he steps out and faces the basket.
This is Stacey Augmon, defended by Willis and Owens, and he throws it out of bounds.
That was a terrible pass. Fundamentally, totally incorrect, Stacey Augmon. Jerry Tarkanian would shudder with that one.
That probably did. Augmon brings down the rebound. Miami by 3 points. Andrew Lang. Coles reached in and comes up with a steal.
That's a Mookie Blaylock play. Bimbo borrowed the page from his book.
Billy Owens put the brakes on. Mourning, quick jumper, and it rims out, taken by Grant Long. Grant Long with 5 rebounds tonight, but just 1 point. He missed both his field goal attempts in the first half. We know Grant Long can make the baseline shot. Mourning defending, and Long on the miss. Bimbo Cole's been a big rebounder for the Heat tonight. He has 5. 2 minutes into the third quarter. Which comes. Bimbo in pursuit. An offensive foul on Bimbo Coles. Stacey Augmon draws the charge. And Bimbo Coles hit with a second foul.
Bimbo trying to get penetration. Good positioning by Stacey Augmon.
Last 6 games, Bimbo Coles averaging 14 points on 56% shooting, so he is coming around. Playing more confidently and more aggressively. Instructions from his head coach.
I think that's the key, Eric. More aggressively. Pat Riley says he told him before the last game, put your head down, Bimbo, and drive it at the basket, and he did just that. Let's take a look here. Andrew Lang turning and getting the foul call.
Third on Bimbo.
Yep.
Atlanta trailing by 3. Owens running with Augmon through a maze of screens. Nice pass by Blaylock, setting up Lang. And Bimbo Coles gets his 6th rebound. Mourning with just 2 rebounds tonight. Still a 3-point lead for the guys in white. Mourning comes across. Good defense by Lang. Long knocks it out of bounds. So Lang and Long making life tough on that trip for Mourning.
Yeah, Zoe tried to whirl into the lane, but had no place to go. Heat have 8 on the shot clock.
Mourning. And the foul. Probably going on Andrew Lang. Let's make certain of it. It is against Andrew Lang. That's his 2nd.
So putting it down, going to his left. He actually has a habit of driving left more than right when he faces the basket. But it's a good characteristic because most defenders would play Zoe's right hand.
As you saw, 3 fouls on Lang. The Heat are just 4 of 6 at the line tonight.
Good look at Alonzo Mourning. The concentration and intensity sticks out all over his face.
19 for Mourning. Miami up by 5. We've played just 3 minutes here in the second half. Season series even at 1. The first of 2 meetings at Miami Arena. Blaylock splitting the defense. Long over Zoe, and he rolls it home. Grant Long's first field goal tonight.
Nice play by Mookie Blaylock right between the 2 defenders on a screen and roll.
Double team comes, and then Blaylock retreats back to Coles. Mourning from the wing. Book it. 21 for Alonzo. Miami leads it 56-51.
There's really no answer for the defenders on a play like that. Zoe steps out, takes that 15-foot jumper. You get up on him, he's going to drive it past you.
Alonzo Mourning, the only Heat scorer in double figures. Steve Smith, the only double-figure man for Atlanta. Kevin Willis lost it to Blaylock, who responds by missing the layup. And Billy Owens trying to fend off Blaylock. You need a rear-view mirror to play against Mookie. Kevin Willis. Tipped in! Well, Kevin Willis, he's been an active man on the glass the last few games. He has 6 points off his 8th rebound. Miami is up by 7. by Coles. 4-on-3. And the Hawks get back.
Willis is wide open.
Mourning. Willis tipped it out, but Grant Long steps in front. And we get a whistle and a timeout to the Hawks. 7:11 to go in the third. Miami with a 7-point lead. And welcome back inside the Heat's house. Miami is 14-9 in this building this year. And up by 7 with 7 left in the third quarter. Heat on a 20-6 run dating back to the first half. Steve Smith for a triple. Cook it. Steve Smith, he says he misses Miami, but right now he's taking out his angst on the Heat. 17 in the game for Smith. They get 18 now. They've readjusted the stat sheet on Smith. They shortchanged him by a point at halftime. They've given it to him back. Coles, a corner triple. And a long rebound for Willis, his 9th of the game. Kevin Willis in his last 3, averaging 15 rebounds. Owens doing that footwork. A little too deliberate. He's called for 3 seconds.
He kept maneuvering at the post and kept putting his foot into the lane and stayed there too long.
Hawks force 18 turnovers tonight. Right now it's Atlanta with 10 and Miami with just 8 turnovers. 4-point Heat lead. Augman changes the shot and scores against Mourning.
Good high and low play by the Hawks that time. The Heat had executed similar plays in the first half. Augman with a nice finish.
Just under 6 minutes left in this third quarter. The Heat's lead is 2. The hook shot comes up short for Zoe, and Andrew Lang has his 7th rebound. Hawks can tie it. Long fouled by Chapman. So Grant with a chance to tie the game. He'll go to the line to shoot twice.
The Hawks keep running at you. They're getting back to the defensive board now and generating some fast break opportunities. Mookie Blaylock on that quick flick to Grant Long. Grant Long takes it to the basket just to get to the free throw line.
Grant Long, he played 472 games as a member of the Miami Heat. A former co-captain and Heat original. When he played here, he was really the soul of this team. A backbone type of guy is Grant Long.
Terrific team guy, Eric. Does all those little things that are necessary for a team to win. Taking charges, loose balls on the floor, offensive rebounds, good passer.
And the Hawks have battled back to tie the game at 58. Atlanta has scored the last 7 points. Owens in the morning. Shot clock winding down. So maneuvers and sets up the hook. Alonzo Mourning 8 in the quarter and 23 on the night.
A little closer to the basket that time with his maneuvering. Hawks again trying to go high and low to Augman.
Augman spinning on Owens, hitting the floater. Stacey Augman averages 12 and has 10. 5 for 7 shooting for Stacey. Rex a 3 under duress, and Augman with a rebound. Hawks leading on the backboard 30-25, and when the Hawks outboard you, they usually beat you. Atlanta's 15-4 when they've out-rebounded the opposition. Kevin Willis picking up his 3rd foul.
Kevin Willis just forearmed his opponent away from the ball. Got called for it. Hawks putting it in play. They're trying to get a 4th foul on Billy Owens if they can.
They really are. Grant Long takes Mourning to the lane and draws the foul. And Alonzo Mourning yelling back at Mike Smith that it should have been an offensive foul. Mourning hit with his 2nd. Miami's 4th. Grant Long will go right back to the line and shoot 2.
Let's take a look. Grant Long with a little pump fake goes to the basket.
Well, you saw that elbow extended by Grant Long. He knocks down 2 Heat players. Now Grant, he might say he was happy to leave Miami, but deep inside he was not. But he is happy to be where he is, in a good town with a good team and a great coach. It's worked out well for both Grant and Steve.
Look, it's a rare player who says he's happy when he's traded. It's a form of rejection. Nobody likes that.
7 points for Grant Long. 6 rebounds as well. And the Hawks are in front by 2 now.
Screen and roll action. Mourning and Coles.
Mourning tees it up. Knocks it down. He's become Miami's best perimeter shooter tonight. Alonzo Mourning with 10 in the quarter. 25 for the game.
As he's shooting that 15-foot. Here's the play the Hawks want.
The pickup, the 4th foul on Owens. Ogden whirls in, gets the bucket and the foul. It works out perfectly for Lenny Wilkins' game. Billy Owens does get his 4th foul. Stacey Augmon gets his 12th point and a chance for one more at the stripe.
Now watch Augmon. He's going to spin very tight into Owens. There's almost nothing Billy can do as Augmon presses into him and gets the shot to go and draws the foul as well.
It is now a 14-4 run for Atlanta. They were down by 7. Now they're up by 3. 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Stacey Augmon with 7 points in this period. 13 for the game. Rex out to Owens. Billy Owens dialing long distance.
Yeah, nice play. The curl by Chapman drew the defenders. Owens knocking down the easy J.
Oh, Stacey Augmon with a piercing dunk over Billy Owens.
And a great pass by Mookie Blaylock right where Augmon could catch and finish.
So now Augmon has 9 of his 15 points in the 3rd. Rex gets 2 right back, and the fuse is lit. Both clubs firing away with 3:20 left in the 3rd quarter. It's a 1-point Atlanta lead.
These are not easy shots that these players are knocking down. Hawks still trying to get Augmon down low.
Billy Owens in the game, playing with 4 fouls. Augmon draws double coverage. Smith finds Lang, a running start for Lang, and Owens out wrestles Long for the rebound. Now the Heat have a chance to take the lead. Willis got it.
Oh, great pass by Billy Owens in transition. Kevin Willis on the run with the catch and finish.
Now the former Hawks soaring above his old teammates to put Miami back on top. It's been a very entertaining night. Blaylock for 3. On rebound to Rex, and Mookie Blaylock continues to struggle. He's missed 10 of 12 shots. Smith on the reach, called for the foul. And that's the first foul on Steve Smith tonight. And just the 2nd on the Hawks. And the Heat take the timeout. Miami leading it by 1.
There's your score in time. Heat take a 1-point lead. Let's watch the play. Billy Owens off the board, throws long to Kevin Willis, and he cruises to the hoop.
And your cruise to the hoop brought to you by the Norwegian Cruise Lines. Kevin Willis, 8 points, 9 rebounds. The Heat shooting 51% tonight. Well, the first time the Toronto Raptors heading to Miami Arena Tuesday night. Get your first look at Rookie of the Year candidate Damon Stoudemire. And if you're one of the first 10,000 here at the arena, you'll get a commemorative pin to mark the occasion, courtesy of Neighborhood Health Partnership. The Raptors and the Heat Tuesday night following the All-Star break. The first of 3 more in a row at home for the Heat. We'll have it for you on Sunshine Network. Denver comes in next Thursday, and Orlando ends the homestand next Saturday.
Hawks really pressuring the ball, sideline out of bounds. Kevin Willis, Zoe telling Willis, Kevin, after I screen, I'm coming right to the ball and I'm open. Zoe's taking no chances. He's stepping right out now.
20 left, 3rd quarter, Miami leading by 1. Heat led it by 4 at the half. Here's Rex. Book it.
Rex Chapman really has his confidence, Eric. After a period when he first came back, he was a little shaky in releasing the shot. Now everything's going for him.
You've heard the term a shooter's rhythm. Rex is in one. Illegal defense against the Heat, their 3rd illegal defense call, so the Hawks will get a technical foul shot. By the way, Rex Chapman has 13 points. Miami leads by 3. Just under 2 minutes left in this 3rd quarter, and it's Steve Smith that will shoot the technical. Steve Smith, by the way, in the last year of his current contract, he and his agent, I should say, Dr. Tucker and the Hawks have been conversing through the year, but it looks like Steve will go to free agency, and while he would like to remain a member of the Hawks, may go to the highest bidder.
Well, it's the only way he will get a high bid, Eric, because the Hawks can only offer him a 20% raise as things stand now.
Keith Blaylock, been a quiet night for him so far. Blaylock just 2 for 12, 5 points. Smith's three, tapped in by Lang. Long on the miss, Long on the follow.
He stays right with it, Grant Long. We've seen him do that a lot of times on this floor.
9 points and 7 rebounds. We used to refer to him as the human vitamin. Tied at 70, a minute 25 left, third quarter. So, quick move. Well, his footwork in the post has been terrific. Quick, powerful moves. The foul is charged to Grant Long.
Let's go back and watch Grant Long. There's the errant shot, but look at Long. Stay right with it and get the put back. Now at the other end of the floor, Zoe gets the ball. Look, that quick burst leaves Andrew Lang hanging. Then the foul and gets Mourning to the line for 2.
And thankfully tonight, no erroneous traveling violations called against Alonzo Mourning. It's something he's battled against the last couple of years. Hawks leading on the glass by 5. Atlanta, 4th best offensive rebounding team in the league, Jack, behind Dallas, New Jersey, and Chicago.
What helps them is having players like Steve Smith at the guard position, who gets to the glass very well. 4 rebounds a game. Even Mookie Blaylock gets 4 a game. That's very unusual for a point guard.
Grant Long is their leading board man with 9 tonight. Blaylock is out. Spud Webb is in. This is Lang turning middle. And getting a nice bounce. Andrew Lang now with 11 points. He also has 9 rebounds. Atlanta by 2. Under a minute left here in the third quarter. Good catch by Zoe. Gamble tees it up. Again, Gamble cannot find the basket. He's missed 5 of his 7 tries.
Well, the Heat will have one coming back, regardless of what Atlanta does here.
Spud Webb. Coles picks it off.
Defense, good defense.
Heat look to tie it up. Willis finds Rex for the lead. Willis for the tie, and he'll go to the line to see if he can put Miami back in front.
Lenny Wilkins didn't like the fact that Willis was open all by himself. Let's watch the Heat defense first. This is very good defense, both by Gamble and Bimbo Coles. Gamble making it difficult to enter the ball. Bimbo getting the steal. Rex Chapman lining one up. No. But the big guy, Kevin Willis, with the score and the free throw opportunity.
Grant Long committed the foul. Kevin Willis with his 15th double-double of the year. 11 points, 10 rebounds. And he does give Miami a 1-point lead in the final seconds of the third quarter. Grant Long for 3. Oh. Got it. Grant Long with his 11th 3 of the year puts the Hawks in front as we head to the fourth quarter. So through 3, it's Atlanta 75 and Miami 73.
Pizza Hut Restaurant for more details.
When the Hawks have the lead through 3 quarters, they have usually delivered 18 times in 19 tries. They've won the game when they've had the lead heading to the fourth, and their lead is 2. And your game summary here at Miami Arena brought to you by Discover Card. Steve Smith got most of it done early with 12 in the first half. Alonzo Mourning, he had 10 in the third quarter. Owens in foul trouble for Miami. The Heat shooting better from the field, but the Hawks 10 points better at the foul line. And this was last year's game. Remember the Heat and Hawks at Miami Arena? Miami led it 78-59 through 3. But Steve Smith, Jack, lit it up in the fourth quarter and took Atlanta to a 3-point win.
Yeah, he was on fire, Eric. There's no way to describe it. In the zone and on fire both.
Smith scored 17 of his 23 that night in the fourth quarter. And we are in the fourth quarter of tonight's game. Mourning double team. Webb retreats. Mourning hits. A long jumper for Zoe. He has been the attack. 27 for Alonzo. We are even at 75.
I've never seen Zoe shoot that jumper better than he's doing it tonight.
11 of 18 for Mourning. Lang. Mourning with a rebound. Just his third of the game. He averages 10.
Willis has great position inside.
Lang just pushed him out of the lane. Willis gets back in there, and Andrew Lang commits his fourth foul.
That's a good move by Kevin Willis. Lang was playing him close. So Willis, not known for his ability to drive to the hoop, just put his head down and blasted.
Kurt Thomas comes on for Kevin Willis. He sits with 11 points and 10 rebounds. And Andrew Lang gets a rest for Atlanta. Lang with 11 and 10 rebounds as well. Alan Henderson comes on for him.
Henderson against Mourning is no contest, so the Hawks will double team Zoe every time he gets it.
Bimbo. Oh, he snuck that through. A quarterback sneak for Cole.
Yes, Bimbo quick to get it off. He's being defended by a more lenient guy now, Spud Webb.
Tell you what, Bimbo heading toward his first ever triple-double. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Webb with a runner. Henderson missed the tip. And out of bounds off Miami with 10:38 left. And Miami clinging to a 2-point lead.
Henderson really works the offensive glass. He didn't have much room on that one, but reached up and over Kurt Thomas and got the deflection in the possession for his team.
Webb finds Smith, and he nearly spun that one in. Kevin Gamble picking up his 5th foul. And Steve Smith has become a very popular member of the Hawks. He does 2 weekly radio shows in Atlanta.
This is good execution by the Hawks. Smith coming off a high screen away from the ball, rolled right to the hoop to get open.
Steve Smith with 20 points. Smith has 21. Unfortunately for the Hawks, his backcourt partner Mookie Blaylock has just 5. All tied up with 10.5 minutes left. Hard fight for certain. Coles, a long deuce. Bimbo Coles, he had 1 foot on the line, or it would have been a 3. Pimpo has rediscovered the perimeter stroke. He's got a dozen points. Miami back in front by a pair.
Each team answering the other. Every time somebody gets a little run.
Henderson, tough shot.
Indeed, tough shot. He was behind the backboard.
The defense by Kurt Thomas as the rookie squared off again. Under 10 left. Bimbo again. Oh my, it won't count. A moving screen on Kurt Thomas. So Bimbo's got to give it back. Foul on Thomas is his 4th.
Let's take a look from the overhead camera. Watch Kurt Thomas. That's play acting also. Spud Webb. The officials are going for some great acts of the theater today.
Thespians, eh? Jones in. Rex Chapman sits down. Shot clock. Grant Long has to fire, and he hits. Grant Long, he had a big second half when these clubs met at the Omni a few weeks back, and he's having a big second half tonight. 14 points in the game, and 13 of them in the second half. Tied at 79. Thomas on the prowl, lost the ball to Grant Long. 10th turnover on the Heat. Smith, baseline. Smith in the paint. Mourning blocked the shot. Out of bounds to Miami. Just under 9 minutes left. We are tied at 79.
Oh, great block by Zoe. Steve Smith engaging in a little conversation with his opponents. And the
Mourning with 2 blocks tonight. 108 on the year. He's number 3 in the league in rejected shots. Mourning holding it high, and Alan Henderson calls for the hand check foul. That's the third on Henderson. Second team foul on the Hawks. So side out of bounds for Miami with 8:42 left in the game. Stacey Augmon is back. And Steve Smith sits down, the High Point Hawk, with 21.
Steve Smith will get about a 2-minute rest here, and then he'll come back in the game.
Peter shooting 53% from the field. The Hawks 43%. But we're tied at 79 with 8.5 minutes left. Alonzo Mourning, cross court it goes. Owens, book it.
Billy Owens coming through with 2 dead open jumpers and knocking them down with confidence.
A quiet yet efficient night for Owens. Jackie's made 6 of his 7 shots en route to a dozen points.
Here's his job right now to defend Augmon.
In the corner, Webb finds Elo. Way off. Owens with a rebound and protects. Miami by 2 with 8 minutes left. Thomas. Grant Long, Mourning with a rebound. Mourning draws another foul. And the home crowd supporting their Heat, looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since the 3rd of December. Alan Henderson picks up another foul. Henderson with 3 and the Hawks with 3.
Lenny Wilkins just buying some time, leaving Henderson out there, even though he's mismatched against Alonzo Mourning. Andrew Lang fresh for the stretch run.
This is Alonzo's best game of the year against Atlanta. He had 23 and 10 in the other 2. So with 28 is Andrew Lang. Looks on from the Atlanta bench. He's been outscored 28-11 tonight. The lead is 3. Mourning. Webb trying to save it in off the body of Owens. So the Hawks will keep it. 7 seconds left on the 24-second clock.
He almost had a turnover as the Hawks were in what is known as a flex offense. Pass and screen.
Elo in a crowd. Mourning with a rebound in traffic. Ending up 3. 7.5 minutes left.
Take Spud Webb.
They clear it out. Elo comes to help. Mourning for 3. Owens kept it alive and a loose ball foul on Atlanta. Alonzo Mourning attempting the 3. He has made 8 of 30 on the year.
It's not Pat Riley's favorite shot for a zone.
Now timeout to Miami. 7 minutes and 6 seconds left in what has been a dandy. Atlanta shooting 42% for the game. The Hawks are just 1 for 8 here in the 4th quarter. And coming up this weekend at JRS, the Marlins Fan Fest. Hear from Marlins players and coaches about the upcoming season. Could it be that time of the year already? I guess so. Here on Sunshine Network, Marlins Fan Fest. And one of the guests at Miami Arena tonight, Jim Courier of Dade City, Florida, on the pro tennis tour.
Is it proper to say that tennis players, Courier is a gutty player?
If you say it, it's proper, Doc. Mourning.
Oof.
Oh my. Alonzo Mourning having one of the better shooting nights of his life. 30 points for the 8th time this season.
This is dangerous, though, getting a three-point shot.
And the up by 5, 6:40 left. And Alonzo Mourning and Andrew Lang get tangled up. And the foul is on Lang. And that's number 5 on Atlanta's center.
Well, let's see what Lenny Wilkins does with that. And I think the right call has been made. There's Zoe on that step-back jumper. And then at the other end, Andrew Lang delivered a little forearm shiver.
Alonzo Mourning with 30 points. All 5 Heat starters in double figures. This is Billy Owens, who has a dozen points. He's missed just 1 of his 7 shots. 6 to shoot. And on the Kurt Thomas rebound, we get a loose ball foul on Thomas. And now he has 5 fouls.
It was Kurt Thomas.
Hawks calling for a 20-second timeout. We have 6:22 left here in the fourth quarter. Miami leads it 84-79. And while we have a chance, our producer, director, and boss, James Dussel, would like me to read this to you. This copyrighted program is presented by the authority of the Miami Heat, intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the picture, descriptions, and accounts of this game at the express written consent of the Miami Heat and Sunshine Network is prohibited.
Eric, 2 things the Heat have done in this game. After a poor shooting first period, they've shot lights out. They're shooting 71% in the fourth, and the Hawks shooting only 13 in this period.
Well, game on the line as Mookie Blaylock reports back for the Hawks. Heading toward crunch time, just over 6 minutes left. Hawks down 5. Hoffman against Gamble. And Kevin Gamble committing the foul. And that will foul Kevin Gamble out of the game. And that's the first time this year that Gamble fouls out. You know, Jack, the Heat lead the league in fouls committed. They average 27 fouls a game. And coming into tonight's action, Miami has taken 315 fewer free throws than their opponents.
Well, the personal fouls, I think, speak for themselves, Eric. Heat play an aggressive defensive game. And I think for a long time they were victims of a theory that Pat Riley's teams played dirty basketball. And that's not the case. I think it's leveled out now.
Hoffman with 16.
They're not getting to the free throw line because they're double teaming. The post guys are getting double teamed and they're shooting from the edges without penetrating as often.
Miami by 4. Owens twisting, turning, and scoring courtesy of a goaltend. 14 for Billy Owens, 7 of 8 shooting, a 6-point lead.
An excellent non-call on that occasion. Billy Owens making contact, the defender falling, no call.
Steve Smith, he has 21 to lead 4 Atlanta scorers in double figures. Lang against Thomas. This is Blaylock, 6 on the shot clock. Smith on the rebound, and we get a foul on Miami.
That's Steve Smith hanging around that offensive glass. He's much bigger than almost any 2 guard who defends him. So Steve, and he works that offensive board very well. Watch this. There's Mookie's shot, and you see Steve going underneath and then coming back in. And he beat Rex Chapman to position for that offensive board.
Billy Owens picking up his 5th foul tonight. So Steve Smith with 22. He is 8 of 8 at the foul line. Smith, an 82% free throw shooter on the year. Well, the Hawks are down 4, 5:20 left. Morning, quick turn, sneaks in. Thomas, got it, and a foul. Morning setting up the rookie who delivers.
Well, good play by Kurt Thomas. Fans really getting into it for Kurt.
And Alonzo pumping up the faithful here at the arena.
Nice handoff by Morning, and Thomas taking it hard to the hoop. Giving Thomas the handshake and the bump.
Brand Long picking up that foul, his 3rd. The Hawks are over the limit. Just over 5 minutes left. Miami up by 6. Brand Long off the dribble. Fouled on his drive by Thomas. And now Kurt Thomas fouls out.
Tough guy to play is Grant Long because he can make it from the edges. And when you play up on him, he can put it on the floor. He goes behind his back here. Look at this for a big guy. Then changes direction with his dribble. Thomas with the bump.
Sort of a foolish foul because Long was already by him.
Yep.
And Kurt Thomas fouls out for the 4th time this year. So Thomas and Gamble have already fouled out. Kevin Willis comes back. Miami's up 6. And with just under 5 minutes left, 2 free throws for Grant Long. 15 points for Grant.
Grant was slow to get his game in gear tonight, but he has it where he wants it right now.
Well, Grant has 16, 15 of them here in the second half. The Hawks are down by 4.
Got to watch the Hawks in this situation because they'll pester the life out of you and come up with some steals.
Miami has handled the ball well enough. Just 10 turnovers to this point.
Go with it.
7. Coles over Blaylock. Oh, got a big jumper to go.
Ooh, tough shot by Bimbo. The Heat really needed that. Not much time left on the shot clock for Bimbo to do anything else but shoot it.
Long, right over the top of Coles.
Great play, Bimbo. Coles.
Offensive foul.
I'll tell you. Let's take a look at Bimbo at the offensive end first. Look at this penetration. Pull up, hang, bang that one home. And then Grant Long trying to get to the hoop, and who's there? The same guy, Bimbo Coles.
And we used to call Grant Long the take charge man when he took those offensive fouls as a member of the Heat. That time the tables turned. Bookend plays by Coles. Rex for 3.
Oh boy, Rex Chapman working hard to get open. Delivered a big one.
16 for Rex. 9-point lead for Miami with 4 minutes left. Smith rolls in the reverse. Pretty play by Smitty.
Takes a baleful look at Rex Chapman and says, take that, Rex.
25 points for
Only
Steve
with his
Smith.
eyes.
The eyes have it. Miami up 93 to 86. Horning. A rebound down to Augman. Miami by 7.
Watch three-point shooters.
This is
like
Mookie
this
Blaylock's
guy.
time. To the lane over Morning. Lang rolls it up, and Willis brings it down. His 11th rebound. And the Heat getting a little closer to where they want to be. 3:10 to go. Miami up by 7 as the home crowd chimes in.
They're getting into this game, Eric. This is a great game.
3 minutes left.
Morning with 5.
Across the lane, draws the foul. Lenny Wilkins can't believe it. He wants to know on who. It's against Mookie Blaylock. Third on Blaylock. The Hawks already over the limit. Timeout to Atlanta. 2:57 left. 2 free throws up for Alonzo Mourning when we come back. Peter trying to nail this one down. Miami looking for back-to-back wins. They knocked off Sacramento by 11 just a couple of nights ago. And right now, they're in position to win. Atlanta Jack 2 for 12 from the field in the 4th quarter. 41% for the night. While Miami has shot it well, 54% for the game. And they've taken care of it well. Just 10 turnovers. Those 2 keys coming in.
Yeah, and plays like this. Rex Chapman has come up big in the 4th quarter of recent games. So has Bimbo Coles. Watch how quickly Rex catches, squares, bingo, knocks that baby down. Big hoop by Rex Chapman.
Rex Chapman over his last 12 games since the middle of January, averaging 18 points a game and an average of 3 trays made a game. Tonight he has 16 points and he's buried a pair of 3 balls.
And you see the turnover numbers for the season and in this game, a very significant statistic.
Morning, who had missed 2 free throws in a row, buries that one.
This is another significant statistic. Free throws down the stretch for the Miami Heat. This is where you win or lose games.
Miami up by 9, 95 to 86. 2:55 left. Alonzo Mourning with 32.
Gotta watch for the three-point shooters now. They're going to fire quickly. Offensive foul. That negates a three-pointer. That's a big one.
Grant Long call for the offensive foul, his 5th of the night. And Jack, you can feel it. The Heat starting to close in on what could be a very significant win. Miami 5 under 500 and trying to string together back-to-back wins. In the night, but the Heat would move them to within 3 games of Atlanta in that Eastern Conference race. Rex comes up short. And Grant Long with his 8th rebound. Still time left for Atlanta, trailing by 9. Blaylock missing the 3. And out of bounds off Billy Owens. And Jack, we have watched Mookie Blaylock with his on-again, off-again shooting. Fortunately for Miami tonight, it has been off all night for Mookie. He has made just 2 of his 15 shots.
They need it from both Blaylock and Smith to win, Eric. Steve Smith has delivered, but Mookie has not in this one.
He said keep that tandem under 30. They are at 30, but 25 have come from Smith. Bimbo knocked it away.
Oh, that's a big play.
He'd take another giant step toward the win column. Bimbo Coles has had a dynamite night. 14 points, 8 assists, 7 boards, and Mourning going to get 2 more foul shots with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go as they stand and roar here at Miami Arena.
Eric, another important statistic, even though the Heat have been out-rebounded at the offensive glass. Let's watch this one by Alonzo Mourning. That's a great move, taking the ball right at the defender. I love that power move by Zoe on that one. But let me get back to the rebounding. The Heat have been out-rebounded in this game, 15-8 at the offensive glass. But Atlanta has only been able to score 14 points, the same number as the Heat. So even though they've gotten 7 more offensive rebounds, they haven't gotten any advantage from it.
Oh my, Steve LeBeau, our ace statistician, loaded the cannon. And Jack just lit the fuse. By the way, Andrew Lang fouling out for the 4th time this year. 11 points, 11 rebounds. Alonzo Mourning, one of the league leaders in free throw attempts. A busy night at the stripe. Gets them both. Timeout to Atlanta. 34 for number 33, who's pumped up. The Heat closing in, up 11. 2 and 2 left here in Miami. Welcome back to Miami Arena, where the Heat are knocking on the door of victory. 2:02 left, Miami up 11 points. And a perfect way for the Heat to head into the All-Star break. If they can finish the job, they'll take back-to-back wins into a 6-off-day span and get set for the Toronto Raptors next Tuesday here in the Heat's house. We love you, man. Alonzo Mourning, our player of the game, brought to you by Great Western Bank's family of companies. Mr. All-Star, getting it done.
Yeah, and a stat that's not up there, Eric. He has 4 assists and no turnovers. And that's a big one for Alonzo Mourning because he's had a lot of defenders flying in his face.
Miami trying to make a statement. We are a playoff team. They've played like it tonight. That's a matter of consistency. Oddman, Smith for 3. And out of bounds off Atlanta. Minute 47 to go. Atlanta will host the Washington Bullets tomorrow night. But the Hawks in danger of losing their 4th game in the last 5 tries. And Miami's defense getting it done, holding the Hawks under 40%. This is the 4th game in a row that the Heat opponents have shot 42% or less. And a 3-second call on Mourning. And Jack, that's gone a little lost in the sauce because Miami's had their struggles on offense, but the defense has been a constant. Still the 2nd best field goal percentage defense in the NBA played by Miami.
Well, you know you're going to get that with the Pat Riley team. They're going to play good defense.
Blaylock, a quick 3. Mookie Blaylock's nightmare continues. 2 for 16. A lot of misses now for Atlanta. Smith steps back, another 3. Henderson going up. Got the block by Owens. Put a foul on the Heat.
Well, that's a pretty good offensive rebound by Alan Henderson. This guy has very good hands around the offensive glass. Watch the shot and watch Henderson. Boom. Gets his right hand on that, pulls it back in, takes it to the glass, and draws the foul.
Alonzo Mourning picking up his 3rd foul. Alan Anderson missing the first of two. With Sean Leonard in for Miami, Kevin Willis will go to the bench.
Pat Riley now putting on the floor his best ball handlers, best free throw shooters. He doesn't need Willis at this moment.
11 points and 11 rebounds for Willis.
Good ball handlers that will not turn the ball over, and the Heat are home free.
10-point lead, a minute 7 left.
You don't really have to score. Don't turn the ball over. Use shot clock.
Heat trailed by as much as 10 in the second quarter. Warning missing the reverse. Out it comes to Smith. 50 seconds left. 10-point deficit for Atlanta. Nice crossover by Mookie. Grant long. No. Steve Smith for the dunk. Steve Smith, 27 points. He also has 9 rebounds. He's been terrific. Not enough help for Smith in regards to his Hawk teammates tonight. Heater up by 8. And Smith reaching in.
Good. Now that served two purposes. The Heat used a lot of time off the shot clock, and they still got a chance to score 2 points here. The game is in the freezer.
Well, nice way for Miami to head into 6 off days of the All-Star break. Back-to-back wins for the first time in over 2 months. For the first time since the 3rd of December. The Hawks will head home to the Omni with a record of 25 and 21. Miami goes to the All-Star break with a record of 22 and 26. Miami moves to within a half game of Charlotte and to within 2 games of Washington and Detroit, pending the outcome of their game. They can pick up a full game on the Bullets, who are losing tonight to New York. They can also pick up a full game on Detroit. The Pistons are losing tonight to Orlando. But Jeff, the bottom line is playoff possibilities are still there for the Miami Heat.
Well, no question about that, Eric, but the same can be said for a number of other teams. This chase is not going to end until probably the last day of the season.
And ironically enough, it'll be the Heat and Hawks in the season finale on April the 21st. And Steve Smith fouling Alonzo Mourning with just under 5 seconds left. It's a mere formality now. 99-89 Miami. Be nice to see Mourning make these and have the Heat get over the 100-point mark again. The Heat are 12-3 with 100 points or more. They've had over 100 3 times in the last 6 games when they've averaged 102 points a game.
And the Hawks are right at 99 points. They were right at their season average for points allowed, 99.
Nice way for the big man to head to San Antonio for his 3rd All-Star game. Alonzo Mourning with 36. They get 37.
Eric, he's been sensational with his offensive game and his intensity. What a warrior this fellow is.
A great night for Miami. A huge win for the Heat. They make it consecutive wins. Alonzo Mourning leading the way. 36 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks, 4 assists. Pat Riley handing out the credits. The Heat 101-89 winners. Happy times back at the Heat's house.